The true function of a cheesemonger is to provide excellent customer service. But to provide great customer service, we need to make sure that we're offering cross-pairing items. Pairings not only, offer your customer a new food experience, but it's also important to get those sales up and increase your basket rings. The basic principles of pairing and cross-selling are likes with likes. For example, a nice nutty manchego with a Marcona almond, or opposites attract, something like a pungent blue with a sweet honey. And also what kind of grows together, goes together. So if you think of Parmigiano Reggiano and Prosciutto di Parma, great classic pairings. But the only way to really be sure what works is to offer your customer a taste. So let's jump in and just try a couple of these great pairings.
So it looks like we have quite a lot of cheddar in front of us today.
A lot of cheddar. Cheddar's kind of my favorite, so I brought a little bit more of that.
Well, I think it's kind of awesome because if you look at it, it all looks kind of the same. I mean, there's an orange one, but it all looks kind of the same, and yet I bet these all taste pretty radically different.
They're all very different, yes.
So cheddar's really complicated that way, right? Because most of it comes in a block, and it's either white or it's yellow, which is really orange. You've got a whole pretty broad flavor spectrum.
Cheddar can go anywhere from kind of like young, a little bit sweeter, all the way from like, people often talk about sharp, where you go cheddar, you go medium, sharp, extra sharp. So I think that's basically when the acidity level goes up.
Yeah.
And you have more of a bite. So it's sweet to sharp, and you can also throw in smoky.
Right.
Just have another flavor.
Right. So we also have a smoked cheddar as well. So there's mild cheddar, but you're talking, you described it as sweet, which I think is a better word for it, because there are a lot of cheddars being made on the market today. I mean, they're made to taste sweet. They taste kind of caramely. They have like a toasted white bread kind of flavor, almost like a little candied. So maybe we can grab some of our pairing stuff and start there. Be right back. All right. For me, pairing with cheddar, and actually pretty much from here on out with all the pairings we're gonna do, we're into the harder aged cheeses, right? So these are not creamy, they're not smearable, they're not buttery. For me, that means I don't want a cracker with them. It feels weird to me to put like a hard piece of cheese on a crunchy cracker. I'm more into like eating it next to something or putting something on top of the cheese.
This is definitely firmer than our last category.
Yeah.
I think it could handle a schmear of something a little bit sweet. So like Breeze, of course, couldn't.
Right.
Cheddars, I think, are kind of screaming for it.
So you want to start with the schmear?
Yeah, I want to start. So I'm going to go, I know I've got a sweet cheddar right here. This is nice and crumbly. And of course, I've got a little bit of orange flavored fig jam. And I'm just going to go for a little bit.
As Saint Germain is for a bartender, so fig jam is for a cheesemonger, right?
Fact.
You can pretty much put fig jam with everything and have it be good. But it's especially good with harder cheeses with nutty or sweet flavors to it. And this one you said is orange fig jam.
It's orange fig jam, yes.
So that's even like a little more intense. Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit crumbly, so you may make a slight mess while you're doing it, but it's cheese. That's what it's for.
Yeah. This is interesting. You're taking, oh, that's great.
But it also has the fig jam itself also has the little seeds in it.
Yeah, the crunchy.
So you get the little crunchy bites there. And you get the little crunchy bites in the cheese.
What I think is really smart about this pairing is this is a sweeter cheddar with a sweeter condiment.
Yes.
Likes with likes. But you put them together and they taste less sweet. I noticed all these other flavors in the cheese. So I'm going to riff on that idea with the sharp cheddar. Sharp cheddars are really acidic. Okay. They make your mouth water, lemony flavors to them. And I think when I think of cheddar, a classic pairing in England is Ploughman's Lunch. Welsh miners back in the day used to take a chunk of cheese and a hunk of bread and some kind of pickle with them, a pickled onion or pickled cucumber. So I want to try the sharpest cheddar that we've got with the pickles and the pickled onions and see if it works the same way as yours. If we take a sharp acidic thing with a sharp acidic thing, maybe they're going to taste less acidic. And oh so refreshing.
I think you're right on that.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be a bit too tart, but it kind of rises. It takes me up there.
Yeah.
But it's a good place to be.
I get like the nuttiness of the cheese, and I notice the acid a lot less. Two likes with likes that get us to a new level of flavor. What are you doing with the meat?
This calabrese, so we've got a little bit of a spicy salami with the calabrese. And for this one, I think it's going to go well with the smoked cheddar. And I'm just going to cut
smoky and spicy as a combo do really well with cheeses. I mean, we saw that when we were tasting the mozzarella's.
I think it kind of is going to bring a little bit more of the meat flavor out. And also the meat can kind of pull back on the smoky flavor a little bit. But there's really only one way to find out.
I feel like smoked cheeses are a love-hate thing. And for me, I love them.
I love them. I love it even more with a little bit of spicy salami.
Yeah. You need the intensity of flavor in the smoky cheddar to stand up to the spice in the meat.
They kind of even each other out a little bit.
Yeah, it works really, really well together. And again, this seems less spicy. This seems a little less smoky. You get some other flavors going on. Cheddar. It's not as boring as people think.
It's delicious.
Yeah, and does really, really well with savory and smearable sweet things.
Yes.
Get some cheddar, don't melt it, just eat it with other foods.
Jam, meat, pickles, works with almost everything.